This is not a paid promotion. It is, however, an ad. So I do a podcast with a friend of mine named Jim, and this is a caricature I'm drawing of him. I actually dipped into animation. I'm not an animator. I know how animation works, but have never tried it and have never used an actual animation program to do it. So what I did instead was draw a whole bunch of still frames in Photoshop and then screen captured those and put them into a video editing software to make a little promo for our podcast, which is called Vaguely Scientific. You can find it at vaguelyscientific.com. And I made a little animated, rudimentary animation, more like an animatic, because it's a lot of just still shots with the characters occasionally in different poses. And that'll be a link to that will be in the description to this video because it's over on the Vaguely Scientific YouTube channel. So I just kind of drew a little rudimentary set, basically like a soundstage, a recording studio here, and I put a caricature of myself on the right and a caricature of my co-host Jim on the left. And in the animation, there are actually so many different poses. I didn't record myself drawing every single one of them because it took several days to do it and a lot of like planning and closing of Photoshop and opening of video software and opening of Word document script that I had written. And I really just didn't want to deal with recording all of that. But the podcast is a show where we talk about just really nerdy things and pretend to be scientists. It's a good listen. You should go check it out. Again, link in the down below the video. Like, shameless self plug. That's what I do. And we always have a third person. We have a whole panel of guests, and we're always open to having new guests talk about different topics. So there's always a third person. So I have included just one of our third people. One of our guests goes by the name Big A. And if you listen to the podcast, you'll hear him in several of the episodes. But I just kind of wanted to get an idea. My idea was maybe to take a few short segments of the show that I thought were like particularly funny or something and maybe animate them. And so I wanted to have room in between the two hosts for our guest, and I would draw little caricatures of the other guests. I haven't done any of those yet as of recording this, but that is the idea. I think it's kind of fun, and as I was putting together the animatic promo, I thought it ended up kind of looking pretty cool, and a bunch of people who actually know how to animate are probably going to tell me how lazy of a job I did, but hey, it was a lot of work. You can see I've pulled in my color reference for my little avatar guy there. This is because I want the colors to be consistent. It's just grayscale, so it's not that big of a deal, but I'm a little perfectionist about keeping the colors consistent. So yeah, the podcast, you can find it at vaguelyscientific.com. You can also search for Vaguely Scientific on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Stitcher and wherever you listen to podcasts. It's probably there. I don't handle the uploading of the episodes, so Jim could probably speak better as to where all you can't find it. But as far as I know, it's pretty easy to find if you just search for Vaguely Scientific. Vaguely Scientific, all one word, .com. And we have a little blog thing there. It's not really a blog. It's just a bunch of links to all the episodes. So this is my not paid promotion because I'm advertising my own thing, advertisement episode of my little time-lapse drawings that I'm doing here. And just for fun, I did finish coloring Big A because I did the work of doing the line art. Why not actually finish out drawing it? But if you take a look at that promo, it's just going to be the two characters. But this will kind of show you, this is the idea I had, that I can always kind of put in a third person in the middle there. And I have to work on making little caricatures of some of our guests. But Our guests range from actors to comedians to actual legitimate people with an actual legitimate background in science, to educators, to just friends of ours, basically anyone we think is interesting and entertaining to listen to. It is not an educational podcast. It is an entertainment podcast where we do occasionally learn some things about science. So here is my splash panel poster of our vaguely scientific set. And here, maybe, if I feel like doing this, are some links to the to the website. In the description, there will be links to the video I'm referencing and also to the podcast, if I remember to do that. And oh, geez, there's the little green screen Post-it note thing I did. It scared me. Thanks.